This week I had an echocardiogram, and I'm going to put pictures up, and it was so beautiful because I could see the venous blood, the arterial blood, and the speeds of it digitalized into color. And I just love things like that. But I began to really think about what the heart is about, the heart's true function, to decipher the essence of the love of all that is, and to go through our hearts, and why some of us might have blockages or heart disease. And so it was just wonderful to discover this whole topic and to use it as our final destination in today's meditation. And the theme today is keeping our eyes open for the way that Spirit is showing us, guiding us when we're a little busy or frustrated, or not feeling well, and can't see the actual messages in the way that we would if we were calm and spiritually connected. So I shared that I saw this scarf probably sometime in the fall at Olympia Farmers Market, and I hinted I wanted it. So of course I have a very generous partner. And Christmas morning, this just arrived on the floor somewhere. And I asked all my daughters, I said, did this drop out of one of your packages? Was it yours? No, Mom. And then I said, oh my goodness, look, it's a match. And I wasn't feeling that good at Christmas, and I wasn't sure what it was. And so this little being is a plant being. It represents the flower kingdom. Like if you've worked with Rudolf Steiner's work, there's devic beings that you can't really see. Some people can see them, who are real intuitive, of little flower beings dancing, little fairies and flowers, and people write books about it, and I don't see them. But when I saw this, I said, well, does she have a message for me? And I kind of put her on my chest, and she said, what will heal you is earth-based, and it's from the plant kingdom. So I just had been thinking about getting essential oils, and they're good for everything, antifungal, antiseptic. I mean, now they have all the mixtures. So I made an apothecary, and if I turned my camera around, you'd see that this little gal inspired me. So what is inspiring you? What is coming up that it's important? If it's a surprise, she was a surprise. I'll tell you, here's something else, and sometimes I'm not sure what the topic is going to be, but I get these ideas of what I must do. And Amazon told me that this was delivered yesterday. Whew. And I have no idea what it is, other than a dear, real nerd. He even calls himself a nerd friend. Bruce Rod from high school said that this has so many answers around energy and vibration that it stood the test of time. And somehow I looked at it and I said, this has something to do with me. And I'm bringing it here today. I'm not sure what it does, and I'm not going to Google it or ask anybody, but I see that I'm holding it and it's going faster. That's a hint. Is it energy? Is it heat? So, plus it looks fabulous. It's glass, and it looks very alchemical. Oh, it's going very fast now. And what has changed? I've been holding it a longer length of time. So it's really speeded up. So sometimes something will come into our life. Thank you, Bruce, for posting that on Facebook. And my inner knowing said, you have to order this. You're not sure what it is, but you're going to experiment with it, and it's going to show you things that you already know, but it's going to show you in real time the energy work, consciousness and thought, and how it can move things and change reality. And I said, oh, I'm all in for that, because then it's another greater tool to work with other people. So how else are we going through our lives and not seeing little slivers of potential because we have written our book of how life is and how our judgments and how we should respond to it. And I'll give you one more hint before we start our meditation. The other day I went to UPS and I parked right in front of Desert Sun tanning booths. And I said to myself, oh my God, I had a little melanoma in my shoulder and I was a registered nurse. Who would go to a tanning booth? Who in their right mind would go to a tanning booth? But I thought about it. Who would go? And on that list came up people who have moved to the Pacific Northwest and have noticed they're not getting enough sunshine and are getting very, very pale. Like me, a California girl moving up and seeking the sun. But it gets better. I said, oh, well, I know how important light is, UV light and red lights. I met a gentleman, Mellon Thomas, who died for 3 hours in Stanford. He's the most documented near-death experience. He went to the future and he learned so much. So I was lucky enough teaching at the Sound and Consciousness Institute to have dinner with him. I said, well, what is the future like? And he said, are you ready? It's what you think it is. You determine your reality in the future. And I said, well, how do they heal? And he said, red lights. So I said, I wonder if Desert Sun Tanning Salon has red light therapy. And there it is, right on it, red light therapy. So I walk in and it says, it works with your mitochondria. It's essentially a certain frequency of light wave that can be quite supportive for viruses, for fungal, for whatever ails you, and it's a whole body thing and you can go all the time and it has no downside. So these are 3 ways that I stopped and said, why is this taking my attention? If we're busy all the time and if we are worried about something, guess what? We are wearing glasses where we can't see. Actually, I have a pair of glasses that show. They have little pinholes. You are looking at life. See the little pinholes? These are Dr. Bronner's to help your vision. And I bought them years ago with an old boyfriend. And he owned them 50% and I owned them 50%. I got them in the breakup. But if you're looking through life with the pinholes, you're missing what? The bigger view, and you're not even present. And I know the people on this call may have had this, or people in the future that listen to this who say, I couldn't see what was right before me. I was so attached to the past and the way things are, and was pretty sure of my judgment of how things were going to be moving forward. So we often look in the Be the Light meditations of what if this is the future and this is the past, this is all we can really be responsible for to change the trajectory of the future. So today's meditation, you probably already guessed this, is going to be going empty during the day. And how are you going to do that? I know you're going to be in your thoughts, you're going to the store, you're doing this. You're not going to have that. So I know we all have these little wonderful cell phones. And cell phones, you can program. And your cell phone is going to be your helper. And today, let's see, 12 hours, every 3 hours, you're going to set an alarm. Just say, Siri, set an alarm for every 3 hours. And when that first alarm goes off, you'll be startled. And your prompt is this: stop thinking. And in that moment, you're going to notice if you've been holding your breath. I find if I'm thinking, did this get done? Did this get to this? And then I go, I actually sometimes don't breathe when I'm thinking intensely. I mean, that's not so good for the body. Think about that. If the carbon dioxide is going up, the muscles are contracting, the chemicals of stress are going up. stopping life's force of breath. So when that goes off, notice, how are you feeling? Are your shoulders like this or are they like this? Notice how you've brought yourself to the world. Are you wearing something fairly pleasant and beautiful that gives you joy? Are you ready for the day? Are you out into the world in a way that you are ready to engage? Or did you just get up and go with your sweat clothes and crazy and with this? You know the difference. And I'm not saying doll up. I'm saying be your beautiful self, whatever that is to you. And today, this putting spring on, matching, well, it doesn't match at all, but to me, that's beautiful. Things don't match. But to bring something joyful to the day, okay? So you're going to notice, are you breathing? Are you contracted? What you're bringing to the day. And you're going to notice what has captured. Remember that game, Capture the Flag? What has captured all the particles of your attention in the last 30 minutes? And how it felt, and was it worth it? And were you actually getting to a solution and taking care of it and just doing it? Or were you perseverating and ruminating and carrying on? So really, we do these Be the Light meditation. We get lots of tools, and then if you're like me, you go throughout your day. You need prompts. You need reminders. So that is the reminder. Every 3 hours, and do it for a few days till when? Till it becomes automatic. When it doesn't feel necessary to do it. When it feels like you're staying aware and present. Now I'm thinking, is there anything else that you should check? Oh, how about this? How about when that alarm goes off, you think, is there any love flowing from my heart into the world in this moment? First, to yourself. Are you having loving thoughts and feelings and sensations? Or are you blocking it? Second, are you flowing love and beauty and joy out into the world? Or are you blocking it with all the different ways we can do it? So first, take a little initial step to appreciate yourself, anything you can do to love yourself, and then maybe send a kind thought to someone else or pick up the phone and make it a habit of flowing love out in that moment. After you've done your initial check, flow some love out in that moment. Good. So if I remember, next week we're going to check in on this, because I never give, it's not homework, it's fun work. It's awaken work. And I would love to find what your experience with this was. So we just had Easter. And Easter, often the time up to it is a time of death of the old self. The Christ mysteries are not so mysterious anymore. In fact, we've talked about these mysteries in the very simple energy tools that we too can do. Christ said, "This too you shall do, and more." And he simply was able to accomplish what he learned from a young age with master teachers, and then with Magdalene and the Essenes in his community, to withstand great, 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 great pain, go into a quiet vibrational space of no bodily function, and to hold that physical body space with his consciousness still present. Of course, it was 3 days, so he did go out and visit and have other experiences with his consciousness, just like we do with Be the Light. We simply go out and visit other time frames, other places, other people, the angelic realms. And then at the end of 3 days, according to the master plan, the angels came and Christ, and they used vibrational consciousness tools, moved the stone, And the women came, and there he was, risen from this quiet, peaceful state that looked like death. So all of this you shall do and more. And why is that Christ's mystery so important for us now? Because we are dying to our old self, and we understand our consciousness is immortal and timeless. And we are actually reconfiguring, refurbishing our bodies to die and to release the old ways of doing things and to rise again anew. If you've heard the prophecies about this specific time in history, they even predict 3 days of darkness. That's a lot like the 3 days Christ was in the tomb. And maybe that's all a metaphor in a story. Nobody knows for sure. Who knows who wrote the Bible, etc. But 3 days, I do know, is the time that it takes us to reconfigure into a new vibrational state. And one of the reasons I know, for years, I've done profound movement, vibrational reattunement with people with instruments and their agreements, and we move them. And they say, even my son's friends, attorneys, and one was a judge, say, we don't know what Chris's mom does to us, but for 3 days, we are feeling so expanded and free and joyful. But the end of 3 days, it's like we go back. 3 days it takes to change the direction of your vibrational field. Okay? So, perhaps what's coming is 3 days of something, some cataclysm, nuclear, tsunamis. I think we're just going to all go off the electronic grid, have no cell phones, and we're just going to lay there in shock and fear. Might get dark, who knows? 3 days, and we're going to have a choice. We're going to have a choice to rise in this body in a new way towards a new positive future, or to continue to stay in fear and be part of that old system that, believe me, is composting and is not moving forward to the true Earth's destiny. So let's take a deep breath and talk about what is the golden ticket to go in that 3 days into the future. And during this Easter period, I feel that I saw some signs that showed me. My partner was doing a meditation with a friend, and we were reflecting on the angelic realm. Angels come to earth and are constantly exuding and oozing love all the time. They're like human washing machines. And so if you're from the angelic realm, you're just like, come on, put your dirty linen here, your fear, your problems, and you're washing and you're folding it and you're putting right back in their arms. So the angels have unending love. So that is hard to do if you are in a physical body all the time. If you are feeling normal human foibles and personality and limitations. So the key to maneuvering through 3 days of darkness, or even today, is to get your heart, the box that contracts with your personality and your story and judgments, which you're going to be identifying by that, not homework, but fun work, and to drop the lids, the sides of the box, and to let Creator's flow that we access every week with the Be the Light meditation. We open our crown chakra, here it comes through, and we let it go through our heart, and guess what? It doesn't get stuck. Our heart doesn't get full. It doesn't get full of grief. It doesn't get full because the energy of Source is so awesome and profoundly redefining and healing. It comes through like a fine-tooth comb. And as we let it flow through us to the world, this love heals us. This love frees us. This love releases us from the prison of duality. And even if you are an angel being here, your consciousness is an angel, but you still got this human box thing going because it doesn't feel safe to love freely in this world the way it is set up. It's like you're a sitting duck for predators. But we must learn to exude this love that will free us and everyone else as never before. Because if you are moving that love unending and fully, there is no space for anything of any other resonance to come in and bite you the way it has in the past. I'm going to say that again. If you are the full, absolute, flowing resonance of pure love, there is no particle of you that will attract and attack them using you, betraying you. You have lost the musical notes that call that in. It's all vibration. Think about that. So today's meditation, guess what? We're going to do just what my friend and I did the other day in Port Angeles, Port of Angels, studying for 3 days the mysteries and how we could get out of this pain. And there right above her head, I looked up and I saw, and I'll put a picture on the top of this video, my partner has a big painting, and it's a woman who's not happy. And she has big angel wings. She's not happy because her heart is in an actual box. I'm not kidding. I can't make this stuff up. There it was, right above her head. I said, if we open up that box, we'll be free. We'll be healed. We'll be there. We'll be everywhere. We'll be home because here is there. There out there is here. Everything goes through our heart. Our heart is our headquarters, and we really have been protecting ourselves. And that protection, that defensiveness is what calls in the problems. That's the law of attraction. So this is the focus of our meditation today. And let's begin. Take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. We ask and intend to set a sacred space. We place that beautiful geometric structure. It is a universe based on physics and vibrational and mathematic principles. Right, Bruce? I'm going to send this to Bruce. And here we are. We are part of the all. We fit in. Because even it looks like we're flesh and water and such, our true nature, the structure of our consciousness, is geometry that moves like toroidal, beautiful. Think of the DNA, that beautiful spiral, perfectly synchronized in its movement and in the measurements to fit into this beautiful geometric structure so that you do feel safe and sane and stable during this meditation. Take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth and begin to notice your heart. I know you've had a lot of losses, a lot of sadnesses, a lot of joys too. Disappointment, shock and awe. We have a war going on right now. Things are never easy, it seems, on this earth. So your heart has taken a lot of hits. And so notice if there's places that are contracted. First, we will breathe in deeply as we call in the angelic realms, all the divine beings that you work with, Jesus Christ, Buddha, you name it. We ask that the old lumps of pain that are there in our physical and etheric heart interfering with the perfect flow of superior divine love coming through. We ask that we release all the trespasses that have occurred against us by other people now. And if you need to, imagine you're opening a trap door underneath your heart, and these sands, these hard pieces of coal, you know the times people have hurt you, betrayed you, left you, confused you. And take a breath and just let it unwind and let that old pain go. Let it just release. Let's ask that our heart come to the still point with no thoughts, so you can accurately feel any pressure, any tension, any part of your heart that is fatigued. We ask and intend to release the fatigue and tiredness within all the heart tissues, the energy around your heart, your chest. We release any density or heaviness now. Take a nice deep breath and just let it go. Now focus on any walls that you have put up around your heart to protect yourself. Walls when you go out in public, walls around intimate partners, walls around your family of origin, your children, even a wall from yourself loving yourself. Feel into all the ways that you have avoided or manipulated or worked with this reality where you have limited love for self-protection or out of your confusion. It was like armoring yourself with armor. And we're not quite ready to let it go, are we? Because we need to spend a moment to understand the psychological mechanisms that occurred repeatedly to create barbed wire around some of our hearts when we've been hurt. That when we see a certain people or a certain vibration coming in, red lights, do not engage. Danger. And again, it has nothing to do with the moment. It's all historical programming. So as you're feeling these walls, oh, I just got the perfect idea. In this painting on the wall, they're brownish black. Let's imagine they're chocolate. Let's imagine that these walls hold a sweetness that we can imbibe if we only melt it, if we only access it. I love chocolate. So take a deep breath and let your heart begin to exude all of this compressed, stuck love. No, we've got to bring even more. We've got to get the flow going. So take your attention to your crown chakra and open your crown chakra. And you know the Creator is always listening to us. And the Creator has been making this beautiful elixir of light, liquid light. And this liquid light is pouring down. And guess what? It's just the right temperature to melt chocolate. Of course. So this energy, it's a golden, liquid, silvery ball of light, and it's now hovering now in a semi-solid ball of sparkly light right over the top of your head. On the next breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, let's allow this light to come down. Now we're talking major love, a lava flow of thick love from Source, God, Goddess of all that is, through your brain, behind your eyes, thick like taffy undulating coming in. This is pure love. The love that the Creator has for you here in this physical body, asking to melt the walls around your heart. So you're bringing it down through your throat, into your shoulders, and now We've already started getting them moving. Let this energy flow right in. It's like a chocolate box. Open the lid around your heart, open the lid, and let this beautiful goo, so warm, begin to melt the seams, sides of this chocolate box around your heart. And let the sides of the box gently fan open and fall away. And you can save that chocolate. Imagine it's going into your coffee cup for hot chocolate later, whatever. And your heart now can absorb. It's ingesting, imbibing, and drinking up like a sponge this divine light. You're going to the next level. So now the love that you can flow out is endless. It's safe. It holds you in good stead and protects you. And take a deep breath and just imagine that this liquid light is going out to the world now. Oh, beautiful. It's going out and it's free and it's endless. And you're not metering it. It's a continuous flow. The old personality self would have said, only this person is safe to love. Believe that. No. Now you are loving with the heart of Jesus, the heart of Buddha. All is divine. All is lovable. And you are this
life can give you hell.
Fountain of
Lift
love.
the veil from my
You're the treasure fountain. Beautiful, just completely. Of course, my brain's looking at chocolate fountains. You know, they have at those chocolate confectionaries of just endless, endless, sweet love moving, going through your heart out into the world endlessly. The pipe structure is set, the infrastructure, and it is moving through in, of course, beautiful geometric patterns. Delightful. Now let this beautiful energy, this love, go into your organs, go into your body. Love yourself. Anything that is tired or stressed, let it be refilled and refreshed now. Beautiful. Delicious. Continue this flow and this movement through all of your tissues, your nervous system. Knowing that when that 3 days come, the 3 days don't have to actually come for you. You've already chosen, you've already done the work. You've already risen simply by opening your heart to the love of the Creator. So let it continue, as now I am mesmerized by the opposite direction twirling of this mechanism, whatever it is. I'm going to call it the Bruce Rod manometer until I know what it is. Oh my goodness. So I'm leaving some nice languorous few moments for this to kind of percolate through your system. Delicious, moving through. When you think about it, all we've done is use our creative imagination to lighten ourselves, to be more light, to be the light. Taking some of the historical stories and kind of putting them in. Essentially, in these calls, we do whatever we need to do to be happier and to be more in service and to let the love of Source be at home with us in our hearts for our own well-being and to be better to be better mission mates for each other, to co-create something happier and more benevolent on the planet. So it's all good. Nice deep breath. Oh, that felt wonderful to take a really nice deep breath. Excellent. Good. So when we finish these meditations, we always put a beautiful golden resilient egg around our entire energy field so that we have a sense of protection from our own thoughts, the outside world, and we kind of stay in this state and feel into it and keep imagining the energy flowing through, unimpeded, unencumbered, just going through. And notice how expanded you feel, how much lighter. That's how we're becoming light, getting lighter. It's like ascending, but staying in this body, dying our old selves to the light, our old contracted selves. Okay, and I had another thought giving the meditation, and now I give service to the thoughts that I'm given when I'm talking. Is that maybe, I know chocolate has sugar and it's not the best thing, but there's wonderful little healthy chocolates. I get these little tiny Bouchard chocolates on Amazon, huge bag from France, and they're tiny and one little thing. It's just to die for Bouchard chocolates. And you only need one. So what? There can't be that much sugar in it. But what if you passed out this chocolate to people and you say, enjoy this. I'm celebrating the day that I melted the box off my heart. Or don't say anything. Just hand out the chocolate or just eat them yourself. Find a way to make this real, okay? Otherwise, it's just thoughts. That's why you're going to have your phone beep 3 times a day. And I do carry these chocolates around. And when I take healing herbs or things that don't taste good, I reward myself with the Bouchard chocolate. Delicious, fun, good. Okay, so we're finishing this section of our time together. And I'm going to turn off the recording, and that's where those that are here live, we can have a discussion or ideas or whatever comes up. Okay, so I'm Jan Jorgensen at soundandlighthealingarts.com. These are the Be the Light meditations every Wednesday morning. Anyone is welcome. Everyone is welcome.